The interrogation. Scene at the trial of Odell Caicos. June 6, 1920. Santorini Courthouse. 1600 hours.
Odell Caicos was brought into custody and was willing to speak on the murder of Antonia Christakis. Detective Caicos, who has been placed on this case, brought her in. Detective Caicos may be a younger detective, but he is a detective who knows how to get the job done. After a year of being in the field, he has solved cases for murder, robbery, and many more. Our tiny island does not have a high crime rate, but when there is crime, he is the first to call. The case is unique due to the fact that Odell Caicos is Detective Caicos' aunt. Not only that, but Antonia Christakis was Detective Caicos' wife. And this time, Detective, would you like to speak on the case?
Thank you. I may have a special connection to this case, but jurors, please understand that this is no longer a personal case for me, but this is just another day on the job. My wife needs justice. The country needs justice. Without this, Odell will continue to move from victim to victim in order to obtain their riches, which I have seen her do all my life. I am no longer a family member of Odell Caicos. I am just a man who wants justice for the victim.
Would the defendant like to speak at this time? Odell Caicos sat in her chair with a sly grin on her face. Her lawyer looked at her, and she shook her head no.
No, but would you like to make a plea bargain? Life in jail with the chance of parole in 20 years?
Prosecution, do you have anything to say about that?
Life without parole, and we will make that happen for Justice and Detective Caicos.
So be it. The final piece of evidence may now be presented to the jurors. Prosecution, continue on.
Thank you. At this time, we would like to invite Detective Caicos to the stand. This interrogation recording took place between our fellow detective and Odell when she was brought into the station. Jurors, I think if you would listen to this and hear Detective Caicos' side, you will want to send this woman to jail without parole. You will believe she deserves to rot in the cell for what she has done.
So, how does this work? You ask me why I did it, I say I won't speak without a lawyer?
If that's the way you want it to work, yes, we'll call you a lawyer right now.
How about this? I just tell you everything. I mean, we all know you're going to charge me to some degree, nephew.
You're not getting away with this murdering my wife. You saw her as a way to get back at our family, a family that does not want you and cut you out for a reason. No matter what you do, you would have never gained approval from our family again.
Antonia would have loved to hear you fight against me. She put up a fight before I killed her.
She was a fighter.
Oh, you should have seen her face when she had given up. She knew it was the end. She took each stab like a champion. Such a weak girl. Her riches would have been put to better use if I would have not been caught. Her riches were nice for the first 24 hours. The lavish life was always the life for me.
Do you see what this woman is capable of? She killed her nephew's wife like it was absolutely nothing, like it was a sport. Odell Caicos is a woman who is hungry for the lavish life, and she will not stop until she is praised again. Detective, would you like to add anything?
Odell Caicos was shunned by my family when I was a young boy, but I was always told by my mother that she was a sick woman and needed help badly. Our family never thought she would take it this far. As our family sits here crying over the loss of Antonia, they also cry over what happened to one of their own. Odell, you could have been such a wonderful woman. I found memories of you when I was a younger and a sweet, caring aunt, but now I look at you with disgust. You do not deserve for me to even acknowledge your existence.
Jurors, you may never see a case like this. Never see someone become this obsessed over the idea of money. But this is someone who is. Jurors, please realize if we do not sentence her to the full extent of the law, this woman will murder again. Thank you.
Jurors, it is now your time to decide. When you make your decision, you may come back and announce it. If you were a juror, what would you do? Do you trust her not to murder again? Do you believe Detective Keiko's testimony? Life in prison with parole or without parole? It is now your decision on how the story ends.